Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi have long been considered a Hollywood power couple, their love story inspiring many since the early 2000s. However, recent rumors suggest trouble in paradise, leaving fans wondering, are these just baseless speculations? Or is the couple truly on the verge of calling it quits after more than a decade together? With ongoing speculation about their relationship, Portia's recent statements seem to shed light on the divorce rumors. Portia de Rossi's humble beginnings. Portia de Rossi, born Amanda Lee Rogers in Horsham, Victoria, Australia, is the daughter of Margaret, a medical receptionist, and Barry Rogers. De Rossi's father passed away when she was just 9 years old. She grew up in Grovedale, a suburb of Geelong, Victoria, and began modeling for print and television commercials as a child. At age 15, in 1988, she adopted the name Portia de Rossi, later explaining that she did so to reinvent herself and sound more sophisticated, choosing Portia from Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice and pairing it with an Italian surname. She attended Geelong Grammar School, Melbourne Girls' Grammar, and later studied law at the University of Melbourne. However, her passion for acting soon led her to the entertainment industry. De Rossi's first notable role was as a young maid in the 1994 Australian film Sirens. Shortly afterward, she moved to Los Angeles, where she secured guest roles on television shows and a recurring part in Nick Freno, licensed teacher, before landing a role in Scream 2. During this time, she worked to shed her Australian accent. Her breakthrough came in 1998 when she joined Ally McBeal as the sharp and composed lawyer Nell Porter, a role that brought her international recognition. She remained on the show until its conclusion in 2002. In 2001, she starred in Who is Cletus Tout? Alongside Christian Slater. From 2003 to 2006, De Rossi played Lindsay Bluth Funky in Arrested Development, a critically acclaimed comedy series that earned a devoted fan following. That same year, she portrayed Carolyn Bessette Kennedy in the TV movie America's Prince, the John F. Kennedy Jr. story, and an Australian reporter in The Night We Called It a Day, a film about Frank Sinatra's controversial tour in Australia. In 2005, she played Zella, a fortune teller, in Wes Craven's thriller Cursed. From 2007 to 2008, she appeared in the 5th season of Nip Tuck as Olivia Lord, the love interest of Julia McNamara. In 2009 and 2010, she took on the role of the commanding and witty Veronica Palmer in the ABC comedy Better Off Ted. She later reprised elements of this character in a cameo for Malcolm Barrett's music video, Revenge of the Nerds, alongside other cast members. Aside from a successful TV career, De Rossi's striking looks earned her a place in various Sexiest Women rankings, including Stuff Magazine's 100 Sexiest Women, ranked 69th, Femme Fatale's Sexiest Women of 2003, ranked 31st, and Maxime's 100 Sexiest Women of 2004, ranked 24th. In late 2006, Blender recognized her as one of the hottest women in film and television. In May 2007, she was featured in People magazine's 100 Most Beautiful special edition. That same year, TV Guide included her and Ellen DeGeneres in their Power A-List Couples feature. In February 2012, ABC announced a pilot order for The Smart One, a drama series executive produced by Ellen DeGeneres and starring Portia de Rossi. The show centered on a brilliant and successful woman who reluctantly goes to work for her less intelligent but more popular sister, a former beauty queen, weather girl, and now big city mayor. However, the series was not picked up for the 2012 to 2013 season. That same year, 6 years after Arrested Development had been canceled by Fox, Netflix revived the series for a 4th season. Filming began in August 2012, and De Rossi reprised her role as Lindsay Bluth Funke. The season, consisting of 15 episodes, debuted on May 26, 2013. Each episode primarily focused on a single character, with De Rossi's Lindsay taking center stage in Indian Takers, Episode 3, and Red Herring, Episode 8, while also appearing throughout the season. In July 2014, ABC confirmed that De Rossi had joined the cast of Scandal as Elizabeth North. Initially a recurring role in Season 4, she was promoted to a series regular for Season 5. However, in April 2017, during Season 6, her character was killed off in a brutal golf club attack, a departure de Rossi had requested herself. Interestingly, her decision to retire in 2018 was revealed during an appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres show, hosted by none other than her wife, Ellen DeGeneres. Who is Ellen DeGeneres? Although many people might admire and love her today, Ellen's childhood was nothing to boast about. Ellen Lee DeGeneres was born and raised in Metairie, Louisiana, to Elizabeth Jane Betty, a speech therapist, and Elliot Everett DeGeneres, an insurance agent. She has one brother, Vance DeGeneres, who is a musician and producer. DeGeneres was raised in the Christian Science faith. In 1973, her parents filed for separation, finalizing their divorce the following year. Afterward, her mother married Roy Grusendorf, a salesman, and moved with him to Atlanta, Texas, while Ellen accompanied them. Her brother Vance, however, remained with their father in Louisiana. When she was 15 or 16 years old, DeGeneres was molested by her stepfather. Grusendorf used her mother's recent breast cancer diagnosis as an excuse to touch her inappropriately, saying he needed to examine her breasts for lumps. Eventually, he tried to break down her door and assault her, prompting her to run away from home and spend the night in a hospital. DeGeneres told her mother about the abuse a few years later, but ironically, Betty did not believe her and remained married to Grusendorf for 18 more years. Soon enough, Betty finally realized that her daughter had been telling the truth when Grusendorf's accounts of his behavior toward his stepdaughter kept changing. Grusendorf eventually died in 1997, but the traumatic incident didn't stop Ellen DeGeneres from making something of herself. Ellen graduated from Atlanta High School in May 1976 after attending Grace King High School in Metairie for her earlier years. She then moved back to New Orleans and enrolled at the University of New Orleans, majoring in communication studies. However, after just one semester, she left college to work clerical jobs, including one at a law firm with her cousin, Laura Gillen. During this time, DeGeneres took on various jobs to support herself, working at J.C. Penney, waitressing at TGI Fridays, painting houses, and even bartending. Many of these early life experiences later became material for her comedic work. Her stand-up career began in small clubs and coffee houses. By 1981, she was the MC at Clyde's Comedy Club in New Orleans. Citing Woody Allen and Steve Martin as early influences, she refined her craft and eventually took her act on tour nationally. In 1984, she was named Showtime's Funniest Person in America, a breakthrough moment in her career. She has also credited comedic legends like Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett, and Bob Newhart as major influences on her style. After a long hiatus from stand-up, DeGeneres returned to the stage in 2018 with her Netflix special Relatable. She followed up with another Netflix special, For Your Approval, which was released in September 2024. Ellen's film career. Ellen DeGeneres' career in the late 1980s and early 1990s included roles in film and television. She appeared in Coneheads and starred in Ellen's Energy Adventure, an educational attraction at Walt Disney World's Epcot. The show featured Bill Nye, Alex Trebek, Michael Richards, and Jamie Lee Curtis, with DeGeneres playing a version of herself in an energy-themed episode of Jeopardy! The ride, originally named Ellen's Energy Crisis, opened in 1996 and was later renamed before closing permanently in 2017. DeGeneres made a major impact in animation by voicing Dory,
We need to find his son.
the forgetful but lovable fish, in Pixar's Finding Nemo, 2003. Director Andrew Stanton cast her after seeing her frequently change topics mid-sentence on her talk show. Her performance won her a Saturn Award, a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award, and an Annie Award. She reprised the role in Finding Dory, 2016, the sequel to Finding Nemo. Her first regular TV role was in Open House, 1989, a Fox sitcom where she played Margot Van Meter. In 1992, she starred in Lauryn Hill as Nurse Nancy McIntyre, but the show was canceled after 4 episodes. However, its creators cast her in their next project, These Friends of Mine, which was later renamed Ellen. Inspired by DeGeneres' observational humor, Ellen was a success, often compared to the likes of Seinfeld. In 1997, DeGeneres made history by coming out as gay, both in real life and on the show's iconic episode, The Puppy Episode, where her character confesses her to a therapist played by Oprah Winfrey. The episode was a cultural milestone and one of the highest-rated episodes of the series. However, the show's ratings declined in the following season and was ultimately canceled. DeGeneres attempted a TV comeback with The Ellen Show, 2001, but it was canceled after 13 episodes. Reports later surfaced that she had conflicts with the writers, allegedly criticizing their jokes. Despite setbacks, DeGeneres reinvented herself as a talk show host. The Ellen DeGeneres Show premiered in 2003 and became a massive success. In 2003, she made the ultimate comeback with The Ellen DeGeneres Show. What started as a gamble by NBC turned into one of the most successful talk shows of all time. Nearly 3,000 episodes, over 60 Daytime Emmy Awards, and countless viral moments. It cemented her place as a beloved figure in entertainment. It quickly gained critical acclaim, winning 4 Daytime Emmy Awards in its first season and 25 Emmys within its first 3 years. Celebrities who have graced The Ellen Show. Since its premiere in 2003, The Ellen DeGeneres Show has become a cultural phenomenon, capturing the hearts of viewers and celebrities alike. After 19 years, the show concluded in 2022. Some reports suggested allegations of workplace misconduct played a role in its ending. The final episode was a star-studded farewell, with Jennifer Aniston, Ellen's very first guest in 2003, returning to close the chapter. Music icons Pink and Billie Eilish also joined the farewell, with Pink performing What About Us, one of Ellen's favorites. Though the show had a remarkable run, its final years weren't without controversy. In 2021, workplace allegations surfaced, casting a shadow over its legacy. Many speculated that these controversies contributed to Ellen's decision to step away, but she maintained that she was simply ready to move on. But more on these controversies later on in the video. Throughout its 3,000 episodes, The Ellen Show was a stage for some of the biggest names in entertainment. Taylor Swift made her debut at just 18 in 2008, and later that year, Ellen surprised her with an appearance by her childhood crush, Justin Timberlake. Swift returned numerous times, even performing a duet with the Lorax co-star Zac Efron in 2012. Another unforgettable guest was Michelle Obama. The former First Lady and Ellen had a playful, competitive friendship which peaked in 2012 when they faced off in a push-up contest. Michelle dominated, completing 25 push-ups to Ellen's 20. Their out-of-studio adventures, from a chaotic CVS shopping trip to a surprise book signing at Costco, became fan-favorite moments. Justin Bieber was practically raised on Ellen. At just 15, he made his daytime debut in 2009, singing One Time. Ellen joked that he might never be cuter, but he proved her wrong by becoming one of the biggest pop stars in the world. Over the years, he performed countless times, surprised fans, and helped Ellen give back to those in need. On her birthday show in 2020, Bieber reflected on his journey, saying he kind of grew up on the show. Of course, Jennifer Aniston remained an Ellen staple. Beyond being the first and final guest, she appeared 18 times in between, often falling victim to Ellen's infamous scare pranks. She also played a major role in the show's beloved 12 Days of Giveaways, surprising audience members with jaw-dropping prizes. Beyond interviews and surprises, The Ellen Show was a launching pad for new talent. Charlie Puth landed his record deal after being discovered through the show in 2011. The stage hosted over 1,600 musical performances by the 3,000th episode, a number that grew even higher by the series finale. While The Ellen Show was a launching pad for some actors, others have seen Ellen as somewhat rude, and a celebrity who wasn't afraid to come for her was Dakota Johnson. But let's not jump the gun here. Though The Ellen Show has ended, its impact on daytime television and pop culture as a whole is undeniable. From tearful goodbyes to viral moments, it was a place where celebrities let loose, ordinary people became stars, and audiences were reminded to be kind to one another. The Ellen DeGeneres Show made its mark on pop culture, but for Ellen, one of the most meaningful parts of her life has been her love story with Portia de Rossi. Beyond the laughs and viral moments on TV, their relationship became a powerful example of love, courage, and being true to yourself. It's a love story. Baby, just say yes. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi's love story began with an unforgettable first meeting backstage at a Rock the Vote concert in 2001. Though sparks flew instantly for both, it would take years before they openly acknowledged their feelings. At the time, De Rossi had yet to come out publicly and later admitted that meeting DeGeneres was a defining moment. She once told people that she had found Elen to be the most fascinating, beautiful, and funniest person she had ever met. However, despite their undeniable connection and several chance encounters over the years, De Rossi kept her emotions hidden. In a 2009 interview with Oprah Winfrey, De Rossi revealed that she had known DeGeneres was the one from the moment she first saw her. However, as an actress on Ally McBeal who was not openly gay, she had been terrified that coming out would end her career. She explained that dating someone as famous as DeGeneres made it even more daunting. Everything changed in 2004 when the two met again at a photo shoot. Looking back on that moment, De Rossi described it as life-altering. Speaking to The Advocate in 2005, she shared that seeing Elen again had left her breathless, something she had never experienced before. She recalled how, for the first time in her life, she had felt the kind of emotions usually described in songs and poetry, admitting that she had struggled to get Elen out of her mind after that encounter. At the time, both women were in long-term relationships, DeGeneres with photographer Alexandra Hedison and De Rossi with singer Francesca Gregorini. However, their undeniable connection eventually led them to make difficult decisions. In an interview with People, DeGeneres reflected on the challenge, stating that although they had both been in relationships, it had never been about having an affair. Rather, they had simply felt destined to be together. She revealed that keeping her feelings inside had begun to affect her physically, which ultimately led to both of them ending their respective relationships. Shortly after, DeGeneres and De Rossi made their romance public when they attended a Golden Globe Awards after-party together. DeGeneres later recalled how significant the moment had been, explaining that it had been a big step for De Rossi to be seen with her. She described how their first public photograph together at the event had confirmed their relationship to the world. Their love story, which had taken years to fully unfold, became one of Hollywood's most beloved romances, proving that sometimes love is simply meant to be. Several months after quietly coming out, Portia de Rossi spoke to The Advocate about her relationship with Elen DeGeneres. She shared that they had a very respectful, very loving, peaceful relationship, which made her feel not alone for the first time in her life. De Rossi also opened up about her experience as a public figure coming out as gay. She explained that her feelings for DeGeneres had been so strong that they overrode all of her fears about being openly lesbian. She said that she had felt she had to be with DeGeneres and decided to deal with any potential challenges later. She acknowledged that being in a relationship that was so public was difficult. She admitted that it was hard to live life under constant scrutiny, and even harder when that life was shared with someone who was as famous, loved, and admired as DeGeneres. However, she also said that despite the challenges, it was a very exciting experience. Later that year, DeGeneres and De Rossi made their red carpet debut at the Primetime Emmy Awards, where DeGeneres also took the stage as host. Almost a year into her relationship, DeGeneres told People that she knew without a doubt that De Rossi was the one for her. She said it was the first time she had ever felt so certain, explaining that she knew in every cell of her being that she was with the person she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. She also expressed her frustration that, at the time, same-sex marriage was not yet legal. She explained that if it had been legal, she and De Rossi would have already been married. In January 2007, DeGeneres once again emphasized that she and De Rossi were soulmates. She noted that while she had been happy in past relationships, this one felt different. She said that there was happiness and then there was love. But with De Rossi, there was also a sense of completion. She clarified that this did not diminish any of her previous relationships, as she had been in amazing ones before, but that she truly felt as though she had found her perfect fit with De Rossi. At the time, DeGeneres and De Rossi had been planning a commitment ceremony when the California Supreme Court struck down a law banning same-sex marriage. Shortly after, DeGeneres decided to propose to De Rossi, and she later announced their engagement on The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Just 3 months later, DeGeneres and De Rossi got married in an intimate ceremony at their home in Los Angeles. DeGeneres' mother, Betty DeGeneres, and De Rossi's mother, Margaret Rogers, who had flown in from Australia, were among the 19 guests who attended the special occasion. The couple walked down the aisle in custom Zac Posen outfits and exchanged rings designed by Neil Lane during their afternoon ceremony. A few months after saying "I do," De Rossi reflected on how marriage had completely changed her life. She shared that since marrying DeGeneres, she had gained the confidence to live an honest and open life. She explained that the marriage had made her feel more secure, both in herself and in her relationship. Although their marriage remained strong, rumors of a divorce occasionally surfaced. However, DeGeneres never hesitated to set the record straight. On December 1st, she addressed the speculation by sharing a rare selfie of herself and De Rossi in the countryside. She posted the picture in honor of their anniversary and reflected on their journey together. She wrote that 20 years ago they had started their relationship without realizing what a long and beautiful adventure it would be. She called De Rossi the best thing that had ever happened to her and expressed her gratitude for having her as a partner. She said that De Rossi took care of her, helped her see the good in everything, and guided her when she fell off or down. She described De Rossi as a beautiful soul and shared how thankful she was to have her as a wife, best friend, and the love of her life. DeGeneres went on to express her excitement for their future together, writing that she was looking forward to traveling and exploring the world with De Rossi for the next 20 years. She also mentioned that they were anticipating their first snowy Christmas together. Finally, she took the opportunity to shut down another misconception about their life, reassuring people that despite the rumors, their UK farmhouse had not flooded. Though rumors about their divorce aren't true, some allegations against DeGeneres have proven to be true. The controversies. By now, it is widely understood that no one in Hollywood is immune to controversy. This particular situation gained widespread attention and criticism. At the height of the Ellen DeGeneres show's success, allegations began to emerge regarding the work environment behind the scenes. In July 2020, DeGeneres was accused of fostering an unhealthy and toxic work environment on her show. These accusations were made by both former and current employees who chose to remain anonymous in a report published by BuzzFeed News. According to the claims, some employees had been penalized tour nationally for taking medical leave, while others had experienced racial microaggressions. There were also allegations that staff members were afraid of retaliation if they raised concerns about the workplace culture. The report quoted several former employees who stated that DeGeneres' well-known "be kind" philosophy was nothing more than an act for the cameras. They alleged that the positive, uplifting atmosphere presented on screen did not match what was happening behind the scenes. In response to the report, the show's executive producers, Ed Glavin, Andy Lassner, and Mary Connolly, issued a statement. They acknowledged the allegations and took full responsibility for the daily operations of the show. They stated that the accusations did not reflect who they were as individuals, nor did they align with the environment they aimed to create. They also made it clear that the culture described in the allegations was not the mission that DeGeneres had set for them. Following the BuzzFeed report, Warner Media announced that it would conduct an internal review of the Ellen DeGeneres show. DeGeneres also addressed the controversy by sending a lengthy memo to her staff. In her statement, she expressed that she was glad the issues at our show were brought to my attention, and assured her team that steps were being taken to address and correct the problems. However, the controversy did not end there. On July 30th, BuzzFeed published a second report, which contained even more damaging allegations. This time, former employees came forward with anonymous claims of sexual misconduct and harassment involving top producers at the show. These new accusations further intensified the scrutiny surrounding the workplace culture at The Ellen Show and added to the mounting criticism faced by DeGeneres and her production team. The former staff members, who spoke on the condition of anonymity, made serious allegations about the workplace culture behind the scenes of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Among those named in the accusations were head writer Kevin Lehman and executive producer Ed Glavin. In the days following the revelations, several celebrities publicly expressed their support for DeGeneres, including her wife, Portia de Rossi, and singer Katy Perry. However, others, such as the show's former DJ, Tony Okungbowa, voiced their support for the employees who had come forward with the allegations. On August 17th, DeGeneres issued a second apology to her staff after Warner Media conducted an internal investigation, which led to 3 of the show's top producers, Glavin, Lehman, and Jonathan Norman, leaving their positions. A Warner Brothers spokesperson confirmed their departures to People. Lehman and Norman denied the allegations made against them, while Glavin did not publicly address the accusations. Meanwhile, Variety reported that producers Andy Lassner, Mary Connolly, and Derek Westervelt would remain with the show. When asked whether she was leaving the show due to the controversy, DeGeneres denied the claim. She explained that if the allegations had been the reason for her departure, she would not have returned for another season. She acknowledged that she had seriously considered stepping away due to how devastating the situation had been for her. However, she emphasized that she saw herself as a kind person who genuinely enjoyed making people happy. But this claim of being someone who genuinely made people happy didn't sit well with a lot of people, with some people tagging it as a facade. A pivotal moment in the shift of DeGeneres' public persona occurred in November 2019 during an interview with actress Dakota Johnson. The conversation, which initially followed the typical lighthearted pattern of DeGeneres' interviews, took an awkward turn when the host asked Johnson why she had not been invited to her recent 30th birthday party. The implication seemed to be that Johnson had intentionally excluded her. Johnson immediately refuted the claim, stating that DeGeneres' accusation was untrue. She urged the host to ask her producer, Jonathan, to confirm that she had, in fact, been invited. Off-camera, a staff member confirmed Johnson's statement. Realizing her mistake, DeGeneres questioned why she had not attended the party, then quickly remembered she had a prior commitment. In an attempt to keep the exchange lighthearted, she joked that the party had likely taken place in Malibu, which she considered too far to travel. Although DeGeneres' exact whereabouts on October 5th, the day of Johnson's party, are unknown, she was seen in Texas the following day, sitting beside former U.S. President George W. Bush at a Dallas Cowboys game. The sighting sparked online backlash, as critics pointed out Bush's history of supporting anti-LGBTQ policies and his administration's response to Hurricane Katrina. DeGeneres' failed attempt to admonish Johnson inadvertently brought more attention to her controversial association with Bush. For a celebrity whose brand was built on authenticity and kindness, the incident, where she appeared to have misrepresented the truth, further damaged her reputation. Following the interview, stories of negative encounters with DeGeneres began surfacing on Twitter. Past clips of her awkward celebrity interviews were recirculated as evidence that she had never been as kind as she had portrayed herself to be. Memes about the Johnson incident, highlighting DeGeneres' apparent dishonesty and attempt to embarrass her guest, further cemented the controversy in the public's memory. A few months later, in March, podcast host Kevin T. Porter launched a viral online challenge, offering to donate $2 to a food bank for every story shared about DeGeneres being mean. The challenge gained significant traction, with Porter eventually capping the submissions at around 300 and donating $600. Despite the controversy, DeGeneres returned to stand-up comedy after 15 years, releasing her Netflix special Relatable in December 2018. In February 2024, she hinted at a full comeback by performing a surprise set at the Largo in Los Angeles during Beth Stelling's Beth and Pals show. She later shared a video on Instagram previewing her routine. During an April 2024 stand-up performance at the Largo, DeGeneres reflected on her talk show with humor, joking that she had been kicked out of show business for being mean, a reference to the July 2020 BuzzFeed News report. She remarked that she had become the most hated person in America, and that the backlash against her had lasted for a long time. She admitted that she tried to avoid reading the news and acknowledged that the headlines had labeled her the be kind girl who wasn't kind. In May 2024, it was announced that DeGeneres would embark on Ellen's last stand-up tour, which would include 27 shows. Alongside the tour, she also confirmed that she would be releasing a Netflix special later in the year. She stated that it would be her final taped special and addressed common questions from fans, saying she would indeed talk about the controversy, that this would be her last special, and that her wife, Portia de Rossi, really was as beautiful in real life as people believed. During a Quanda session on July 1st while on tour, DeGeneres was asked whether she would consider returning to fame after having time to reflect on her past mistakes. She firmly responded that she would not, and stated that this would be the last time audiences would see her. She added that after her Netflix special, she was done with public life. The special premiered on September 24, 2024, and concluded with DeGeneres reflecting on her career, stating that she had spent an entire lifetime trying to make people happy. What are your thoughts on Ellen DeGeneres? Did you enjoy watching her shows? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more fascinating Hollywood stories. See you next time.